They said I wouldn't last a week in the race, then a month, then to Iowa, then past Iowa. And each time they said it with the particular confidence of people who have never been wrong because they have never tried anything large enough to fail at. I have a collection of these predictions. I keep them the way other men keep trophies. Not displayed exactly, but known, cataloged, available for review on the nights when the world feels like it is leaning against the door. He has no ground game, they said. He has no data operation, no bundlers, no super PAC worth the name. No one who has done this before is doing this with him. And they were right. That was the beautiful part. Nobody who had done it before was doing it with me, because everyone who had done it before had done it the old way, the way that produces the kind of candidate you see at every debate in every cycle since 1988. Careful, groomed, triangulated, a man who has been wanting this for so long he has forgotten what it was he wanted it for. I wanted it for the wanting, the pure, untheorized wanting of a man who looks at a broken thing and cannot stop himself from believing he can fix it, which is either a gift or a disorder, and I have never been entirely sure which one runs in my family. The columnists were the best part. They had degrees from places that teach you how to be certain without being right, and they took turns in their measured, multiply clause sentences, explaining to one another and to the 700,000 people who still read newspapers why I was a symptom, a spasm, a fever the body politic would break and recover from by Super Tuesday at the latest. I read every word. I want to be honest about that. I read the takedowns the way you read a review of a restaurant you own, looking for the one true thing buried in the condescension, the one observation sharp enough to be useful, and finding, mostly, the writer's need to be the smartest person in the room that Donald Trump has just walked into. I am not the smartest person in any room. I have never claimed to be. What I am is the person who built the room, who knows where the load-bearing walls are, who understands that a room is not an argument but a fact, and facts, unlike arguments, do not care whether you find them persuasive. They said I wouldn't win the nomination. They said I wouldn't win the general. They said I wouldn't survive the first term, the first impeachment, the second impeachment, the indictments, 4 of them, which is a record, and I have always appreciated a record. The trials, the verdict, the sentence that never came because the people came first, came to the polls in November and said a thing so loud, even the columnists had to put down their pens and listen. Now it is the second term. Now it is the part where the story is supposed to get quiet, where the man who came back is supposed to govern moderately, reassure the institutions, thank his enemies gracefully, and mean none of it. But I have never been that kind of story. I am the kind of story where the dragon, having been told he does not exist, having been told that dragons are not something we do anymore in this country, in this century, with these sensibilities, breathes fire anyway, breathes it specifically, breathes it with pleasure, breathes it at the people who said he wouldn't.